Hey, it's time to do market updates. Hi, my name is Roxanne Gavari with Pemberley Realty here in San Diego, California. And every month I bring you the news of how the market is doing, San Diego market and real estate market is doing in our local areas here in San Diego. And it's always interesting because you think that the market is doing a certain thing of its own, and it sometimes it's doing something exactly different. Like, for example, last month I was looking at the numbers and I was thinking, well, the market is kind of soft, and so the prices must be falling. And then we were looking at the numbers and we didn't actually see those statistics in the market numbers that we saw last month. So let's look at the market stats for the past month. So we're always looking at the month before because we have to wait until the month closes before we actually have the statistics and know how the market is behaving. So we are now in the month of September, and we're looking at the numbers for the month of August. And what I'm talking about was for the month of July, which actually, if you look at July was a strong month in terms of performance and in terms of the market being active. And now we're, in the second half of the year, and we're going towards the end of the year. And normally, once you get past June and July, the market starts to soften up. And so we're looking at August, which is past June and July. So I'm thinking that we're going to probably see numbers that are not as strong as July. So we'll look at that, and as we move towards the end of the year, again, the market is probably going to slow. But this year, we actually may see something different. And the reason for that is because we're in an election year, and we're also having a situation where everybody's waiting to see what the Fed is going to do with interest rates. And that waiting means that there's a lot of buyers that are waiting on the fence and not jumping into the market because they think that interest rates are going to come lower. And so I am actually thinking now the Fed is supposed to be adjusting the interest rates down in their meeting by September 17th. And the interesting part that a lot of buyers forget is that mortgage rates are not directly, not that they're not directly tied into the national rates that the Fed is manipulating, but mortgage rates are independent of the rates that the Fed is manipulating with. So they may actually adjust those numbers even prior to the Fed adjusting the interest rates. And as a matter of fact, they already have done so. For example, earlier, like in April and May of this year, you were looking at interest rates somewhere around 8%. They went as high as 8%. And now if you are trying to look into getting a mortgage, you can actually get them as low as 6%, 5.9, 5.8%. So you can see that all of a sudden we're significantly doing better in terms of interest rate. I don't know if the buyers out there realize that how much the mortgage rates have adjusted. So let's take a look at the numbers. And so I'm going to start with 92116. Let me share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. So there we are. Those are the numbers. And let me see. Let me see how I can make this a little bit bigger for you so that you can see it better. That's too big. That is probably the right size. So 92116 consists of Kensington, Normal Heights, and University Heights, where our office is located in University Heights. So I always like to check the numbers in 92116 and also in 92104, because we have two offices, one in 92116 and one in 92104. So we look at those numbers, and there you go. So August, so let's compare August of 2023 to August of 2024, and look at how much more inventory we are seeing. Look at how much more pending sales we're seeing, and look at how much closed sales we're seeing. But also look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. We are seeing significantly changed numbers since August of last year to August of this year. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, that we didn't see this sharp drop in the July numbers, but in August numbers, we're actually seeing that. But year to date, if you're looking, you're actually, year to date, you're not seeing a sharp drop, at least not in the single family home sales. So let's look at condos, and condos are actually not seeing a sharp depreciation. They actually are seeing modest appreciation. But here's the deal. We're still looking at inflationary numbers, not as high as they were a couple of months ago, but we're still looking at 3 to 5% inflation. And if you're looking at appreciation of 2% with inflation at 3 to 5%, well, then you really lost money. Okay, and then looking at charts and what the charts are doing, so these are the numbers in terms of how the county is performing versus how 92116 is performing. So if you're looking at the county numbers, you can see that there are some areas where the condos are more expensive. And if you're looking at houses, you can see that our numbers here in 92116 are above the countywide numbers. But still, this is actually very interesting that countywide we're looking at the median sales price of a home, a single family home, is at $1 million countywide, and within 92116, median sales price of a home is slightly above 1.2, which is, a very high number. So let's compare that to Mission Hills and Hillcrest, which is our neighboring zip code, and let's see how those numbers fare. And here we are. Interesting that we were looking at 92116 with 29% lower pricing, and Hillcrest we're looking at exactly the opposite, 35% increase. So I think this is only because we're looking at very few numbers that we're comparing. So year to date is a more accurate number. So we're looking at 4% appreciation here versus 1% appreciation in 92116. And it's also important to note that 92103 is a more affluent zip code than 92116 in general. So you can see the median sales price is at 2 million, whereas median sales price in 92116 is at a slightly above $1 million. So let's go back and compare those numbers also to condos. So median sale price of a condo at $785 in Hillcrest and Mission Hills, compared to townhomes and condos in 92116 being at $523. And then let's also compare these numbers countywide. And as you can see, countywide, we're again looking at median sales price of a home in Mission Hills is above 1.6. Now, when I first got into the business, which was almost 25 years ago, I remember that if you wanted to get into Mission Hills, median sales price of a home in Mission Hills was about 600,000. So 25 years later, we've add another million to that. So that's how real estate works. If you're buying it, you're buying it to sit on it and wait. Okay, let's move to Del Mar, where our second office is located, and see how that market is doing in comparison. So yeah, let's look at that. So now this is very interesting because again, you see a 35% decline from August of last year to August of this year. But if you're looking at year to date, you're looking actually at a 10% appreciation. So the more affluent market is actually not coming down in price, at least not by a whole lot. Not that it's actually coming down, it's still appreciating, but not by a whole lot. So in other words, if you're taking inflation at about 3 to 5%, you're looking at an appreciation of 5%, which is actually a healthy number. Okay, and if you're looking at condos, you can see median price of a condo in Del Mar area is about 1.4, and year to date median price is about 1.6, and it's gone up in numbers. And of course, if you're comparing it to the countywide numbers, you can see that Del Mar is significantly more in price, which is in line with the numbers that we were discussing. So median sale price of a single family home in Del Mar is above 3 million. Median sale price of a condo in Del Mar is above 1.5. And we I like to compare those numbers to Carmel Valley, which is just to the east of Del Mar. So let's see how those numbers look in Carmel Valley. And so you can see now, this is very interesting because Carmel Valley looks like it's showing the most amount of appreciation compared to all these other zip codes. So year to date, we see Del Mar has gone up by about 10%. Mission Hills has gone up by about 4%. 92116, which is Kensington Normal Heights, has gone up by about 1%. And then comparing that to Carmel Valley has gone up by about 23%. And I think the reason for that is Carmel Valley has really good schools. It has the type of homes that are very suitable for families to live in, and so there is a high demand for those type of homes, and I think that is the reason why you see huge appreciation, because we're still suffering from the lack of inventory, and that lack of inventory translates into higher prices. As you can see here, month supply of inventory last year about this time was at 2.4, which means 2 months worth of inventory, worth of supplies. And this August, we're at 1.8 months, which is really, really not that great. So compare that to condos and townhomes. You can see that condos have gone up from 910 to about 987, and year to date condos are the median sales price of a condo is about $1,050,000, which is well above, not well above, but it is still above $1 million. And then if you're comparing that to the actual numbers of the countywide numbers, you're still way above the county-wide numbers with in comparison. So median price of a condo in San Diego County is about $600,000. Median sales price of a house in San Diego County is about $1 million, and our prices in Carmel Valley are well way above that, above 2.5 for a single family home and above a million for a condo. There you have it. Those are the numbers. Now let's get to some fun numbers, as I call them. So let's go and take a look at some of the single family homes. Let's look at some single family homes and see how what the most expensive homes and least expensive homes look like. And let's look at the sold homes for the past month. Okay, so you know what? Let's just go back to August, because those are the numbers that we're looking at. So let's look at August 1st till August 31st, because we're talking about the month of August. Let's see what has sold, and um, let's see what those numbers looked like, and let's make a comparison. Okay, so let me take out the actives and only compare the solds, so that we're comparing apples to apples. Okay, so we are looking first at Del Mar. So let's see what's the cheapest house that has sold in Del Mar. So looks like 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1659 square feet, was listed at 2.1 and it sold for 2.25. And it was listed by Anna Muhammad, and it was sold by Krista uh, Sozinho, if I'm pronouncing their names correctly. So let's take a look and see what that house looks like. It looks like it has a nice ocean view home, and there's the inside. So this was the cheapest home that was sold in Del Mar proper, and looks like it did have an ocean view, which is nice. And those were the outdoor pictures, and I think it actually is a desirable home. And there's the location. There's where the house is located. Not a big backyard, but it looks like it's sitting high above the ground, and definitely has some views, and definitely has some ocean views, which is nice. And it does not look like it was in an older community. It's just a older home, but not an older community. And so that is your least expensive home in Del Mar. And then let's see what was the most expensive home in Del Mar. So this was the most expensive home in Del Mar. So 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, 6,351 square feet. And this was actually in the zip code of Del Mar, but it really was the community of Rancho Santa Fe. And there we have it. We only have one picture, and looks like a beautiful house. And that's all the information that we have for it. So let's move on to our next zip code that we're looking at, and that would be let's look at Carmel Valley, because we're making a comparison between single family homes in Carmel Valley and in Del Mar. So the next one, so this is the cheapest one that sold in Carmel Valley, and was listed at $1,550,000, and it sold for $1,515,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,615 square feet. And let's take a look. Okay, so newer home looks like, and definitely attractive. And I would say these are virtually staged pictures. As you can see, it looks nice in the picture, but that's the true state of the home. And there it is again, virtually staged. And there's the kitchen, and it looks like it does have a nice backyard with a view. And it's a basic home. I would call this a basic home. It's a basic home, but it's an attractive home. And so 1,600 square feet, still single family, and it sold for 1,515,000. So that was the cheapest home that sold, and it actually is not a bad price. You know, it's affordable to have a house in Carmel Valley for under 2 million. I would say that's a good deal. Okay, so let's look at what was the most expensive that sold in Carmel Valley in last month, in the month of August. And this is the most expensive house that sold in in Carmel Valley. And 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, 5719 square feet. Okay, and built in 2003. It was listed at 4.525, and it sold for 4.329. So a little under what it was listed, and still looks like a very attractive home, and looks like it was in a gated community. And that's all the pictures that we have, and most likely because the new homeowners want to have their own privacy, so the pictures have been taken off to preserve that desire. So now let's go and take a look at 92116, and let's see what's the cheapest home that was sold. And this was the home at 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 780 square feet, sold at $680,000. And let's look at the condition of this home. Okay, and so rough property, rough fixer, as you can see. So I'm actually familiar with this property. It's sold to an investor that's currently working on it. So stay tuned for the pictures of before and after for this project. All right, and let's see what was the most expensive house that sold in 92116, and that is 953 Golden Gate Drive, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3477 square feet, was listed at 3.25, and it sold for 3.358. And so let's take a look and see what we see for this property. So quite an attractive property. The backyard looks very, very nice, and beautiful pool and beautiful entrance. Very attractive as you go in, with a nice fireplace. Open floor plan. I really like that. Separate dining area, which is also very, very nice. I like the white. It makes it very light and bright. Kitchen is beautifully remodeled, and with an island, which is very attractive. Oh, look at that. Excellent, with beautiful bathrooms and a 2-story house with great views of the canyon, which is also very desirable. Like the tile work inside, and of course it is very nice to have a closet like that. The porch patio looks beautiful. Oh, and it looks like it has an ADU, which is also very, very attractive. So this is a beautiful home with some great amenities. All right, well, let's move on to 92103, which is the last zip code that we're looking at. And the least not the least attractive, but the least priced home that sold. And it was, okay, well, we don't have any pictures of the home, but it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for 1,335 square feet, listed at $1,199,000, sold at $1,174,000. Okay, and then we keep on moving forward, and the most expensive home was the one at 2120 Hickory, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,100 square feet. And this beautiful home was listed at 3.375 and it sold right at 3.375. And let's take a look and see what we see for this beautiful home. And yes, this is a historic home, which means that that there was some savings to be had on property taxes. And I would say this is gumwood, which is a type of wood that is no longer available. This wood is unfortunately no longer being produced because it does not exist. So these homes are actually that much more valuable because they have a type of wood that is unique to the home, and you can no longer find it. So, and as you can see, it is exquisite. Same with this fireplace. The fireplace looks like a batch elder fireplace that was also a distinct and very famous fireplace builder that was unique to the era. And a lot of those older homes have batch elder fireplaces in them, which makes them very attractive. And you have a separate dining area, which is very nice. Updated bathrooms, and the kitchen is to die for. Very elegant and very nice, and looks like a beautiful family room attached to the kitchen. And the bedrooms are also very spacious and very attractive. And yeah, just a delight. And of course, updated bathrooms that are very, very nice. So overall, we're looking at a very, very attractive home that sold at exactly the price that they were looking for, and with a balcony that has beautiful views. And yeah, this is very attractive, along with an outdoor seating area that is very, very nice. So there you have it. Uh, the uh, the most expensive and the least expensive. And so thank you so much for joining me. If you are thinking of selling or buying in San Diego or anywhere in the country, please reach out to me. I am here and happy to help you. There's my phone number. And you can also find me online at there's my website, or you can go ahead and email me, or you can also follow me on Instagram or on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I bring one of these videos every Thursday, and love to see you on the next one. Have a great day.